Or like, what part do you want me to break down first? Let's say that. I do that with the flower. Okay. What's the song name? It's called Two Seater. It's by Tyler the Creator. So we have a bunch of media ins. So this is the main footage, I believe. This is a matte painting that I have. I have the flower, right? This is actually, sorry, this is not the main video. This is a still. So I took a screenshot, like saved a screenshot and then put it back in of this. And then I also painted out this frame. So if we, I don't know, but yeah, we look at, this is that photo right here. And then I painted it. So it looks like the flower is gone. And so basically I just took the paint node and then layered a bunch of colors that are surrounding colors and then like shoved it in here. So you can see if you look close, like it's painted, but then we have that. And so I have that here, and then we have it moving slightly. So it adjusts to the movement in this clip, which is the main footage right here. It is going along like that, and it's aligned. Okay, right here we have our difference key. So basically, I have this painting, and then I have this video. When we difference key, it's looking at the difference between those two different photos, and then it's isolating what is different. So here, after the difference key, you can see that the flower is taking out, and basically I use that as a mask for the original footage, like this, and so it kind of isolates the flower a little bit. Then I have this background being blurred a little bit, so you don't really notice that it's painted. So we have the main footage, we have the flower isolated, and then we have the matte painting that's blurred. And this is going into the burn away node. So I went over that in the recent tutorial yesterday, which is the singer transition. But I use the burn away node. So basically I have it on path. If I look at it, I have this path going from here to here, and it's just burning the flower. But it's burning this footage, and I have this footage being masked out by this that's over here, so it's only being affected in this area. And then I have the background that's going to be blurred, and that's what you see over here. So that's how it's being isolated out. I don't know if I explained it well. The flower is isolated out and it's being burned away, and it's showing the clean plate that's underneath it, and that's just put it on top of everything else. That makes sense. And then I have like certain spots that I don't want to be like burned out. I have the original footage that's over here, or I have the matte painting, sorry, and then I mask painted out like those certain spots I didn't want to be burned, like so right over there. If you look over here, there would be little burn spots, but I masked it out with the mask paint node. Then I have fast noise here on all the clips. There's like little rain that's happening. I would display some map because I only showed the raindrops happening at the top of the screen over here and not at the bottom. I have a gradient map over here, which kind of like makes this more bright and it makes everything else darker. And then I have this, which is what I did for my CC. I don't know why it does this, but it's a vertical gradient map, gradient like this. And I put the blending mode on hue, and then I blended it down, and it has this like nice like pink orange glow kind of thing, and I just put that on all my clips like that. So that's what you're gonna see throughout everything else. All right, this one, it's gonna be hefty. Here's all my nodes. So let's start with this big black hole thing that I have in the background. So I was like really addicted to watching like how to make a black hole, because I watched Saucy's edit, which is, if you don't, it's a really nice flow edit. I'll pull it up because it's probably my favorite flow edit of the year. After watching this edit, there's a certain part, this part, it just made me addicted to like making a black hole or some sort of space thing in the back. This is also the time I like just finished my astronomy class for college, so yeah. So I found a tutorial that allows me to how to do it. So I have this masked out, fast noise masked out, I have it cropped, and then I put a coordinate space, and this basically puts whatever you have on your screen and it makes it a circle. And then I duplicated that, I turned it, duplicated that and turned it, and so we have this kind of circular mess here. I have it spinning, then I put it to a regular resolution. I had it at 1080 by 1080 before because it needs to be like this in order for the coordinate space to work properly. Then I put an opacity mask, which is just a background and a merge node. I don't know why I put that. I put that so it puts it on 1920 by 1080. Put a gradient map so I could choose which colors I want for like the certain thing. So I made like the brighter parts are white and red, and then the darker parts are green or whatever. I don't know why. Then I put a color corrector and then just mess that all up. So that's different. I put a red, put a glow, put some rays, and then I put a ellipse circle basically in the middle of it to make it like a black hole. Then I positioned it, put a shadow for some reason, more glow, more rays, and then transformed it more blurs. What I put here? What is this? I don't know what that is. I don't know where that is. But it's added, and then I think I added the. I'll put it in the middle over here, on top of everything else. Here I have the transform node, and this is at the beginning. So if we look at the beginning over here at the end, right? Yeah. So I have, you saw me make this on stream the last time. I have this masked out like this, and then after a couple seconds, it comes in and she appears because I put a lightning strike right here, and like that. And then what I also did is I have a background node with two revealing like this at the bottom, so it's like you know, when like something burnt hits the ground or something like that, something gets burned, it just chars up. So that's what that's supposed to be. Like that's the impact area. That's what I added there. What I did. This is the rain I was talking about. This is the CC I was talking about. Then we have the black hole. This is another gradient map. Not gradient map. This is gradient on top to like make the bottom darker and the top lighter. This is what is this? This is the clouds I did on stream. And then I think the only thing I didn't show really was the eyes. Oh, it's not on this one anyway, so we're chilling. Yeah, that's it. This is my failed CC. Can you show full clip right now? The one I just explained? Like that. I have the clouds moving down. I have the I also added a shake and it's the transition out. I have a manual exposure, meaning I have it like flickering really fast a little bit. I have a blur and then a what I put exposure on top as well. So multiple clips, you see her eyes are like have these lightning on it, and this is kind of a pain to do. But basically, I did the same thing I just did on stream, which is I masked out her eyes with the chroma cure. I added glows, and then I isolated each eye with a mask. Then I put rays on it. So I put the rays, the source on her eye. Then I added this lightning. So the way I did the lightning, I think I did on stream as well. I added a tapered line with a glow, and then I used visions displace with the noise. I made it like that, and then I have it going at a seed rate of 1. Positioned it correctly, and then put it on top of a clip right by the eye. And then I think after I put like a little bit more displacement on it, I know it's barely noticeable. Then more glow, and that's how the eyes are done. What is this? This is all the shapes that I did on stream, and yeah, that's it. Modifiers with I used to have my normal expression shakes, I would say, and then except for the zoom part, I put a zoom on it slightly, so it kind of hides its motion tail a little bit. So it zooms in the clip and then shakes upwards, and then once it normalizes, it goes out, and that's represented by this right over here. I don't know if it works or not. That's what I did. If you want my values, it's a negative 0.05 to 0.05, and then I time scaled that a lot. Will it show? Yeah, it looks like the graph looks like that. So it's a nice wiggle up and down, and then it ends like right here. And what I try to do, because this is called a mid shake, so I try to have it start in the middle. Obviously for this one, they didn't work, but that's the point of the mid shake. If you ever see that on my comps, angle is just that. And don't ignore the input. I used to have it keyframed, but now it's just on duration, and that's just irrelevant. All right, this one. So I had the Twix clip. I chroma keyed this one out, and I guess softened the edge a bunch. And so we just have her that's isolated with this mask that's over here. Okay. Oh no, that's what I did. I chroma keyed her for the most part, the white color, and just isolated that area, put into a bitmap, and combined it with this ellipse mask. And then I put that as the solid matte, so it won't be affected by the chroma key when I key out the background, which is the blue. That's what I did. Then I put the regular background into visions displace, and with visions displace, you could use a chromatic aberration to move these colors up like this over here. That's what I did as well when I sampled the same footage and I moved it down, I believe. Yeah, you can see. I moved everything. I moved the whole thing up, and that just gives this effect, which is look pretty dope. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use that, and I put the character right back on top, and I got everything I said isolated out, and then what? This goes to the eyes. Already talked about, and then I just darken the screen a bit, and then yeah, that's I guess the most everything, and then it's the same thing but opposite for this scene. I have it up, and then I have everything go back down. All right, this is the eyes. Don't even fret. This is the mask out again. I masked her out, keyed her out. And I made sure this is what normal. I have so this is the overlay I got from Saucy. So that you know that the edit I was talking about, that's why it's relevant. He has the project file in his PayHip, and it's for free. So I downloaded that, and the part I was talking about, the portal, it's an overlay for the most part. So he has this. It's so fire. And so I put that in the back with the vortex to make it look more swirly, and then I displaced it more with Vision's thing. I put the angle up, I believe. Yep. The chromatic aberration. I centered it perfectly, so because a clip isn't centered fully. I put the original clip on top of it, and I blended it together with the other one, so it just creates this mesh. But then I have it masked on top, and then what? Eyes done, and everything else is the same. Oh, and then I guess the drip, which is the last part, which I I honestly would probably explain in a tutorial, but I think mine looks garbage, so maybe I won't. Basically, it's a zoom out back, and then I use the drip node, and I keyframed the phase and the strength, and have it go down, and so you just have that effect. But okay, I'm gonna talk about the CC. I usually never talk about the CC, but we're gonna talk about the CC. I think it's this one. So that gradient map I was talking about last stream, that's what I used for my CC here. You saw me make it is like this, and like I darkened it with another rising contrast. But if you want to make a good CC, just use a gradient map. I have a tutorial on my second channel on how to make it, but it is honestly just the way to go. You can't go wrong with mapping the luminance channels to different colors as long as your colors look good. Here, I'll bring up some examples that I have. We take a look at the CC I got. Maybe it's not good on the scene, but like, look, it just looks nicer. Yeah, it's not in the scene, but I was putting it on the Comey scene, the Comey edit that I had. It looked nice. We have other stuff, which is this is just blue, kind of purple. This is what, red, orange. Yeah, this is like really bad scenes to talk about on. Maybe let's see, copy this, put in the original ones. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, much better. But yeah, the gradient maps for CCs looks way better than just doing regular CCs. Even if you put like the strength all the way up, like that looks like the nighttime. Now that your night just easy gradient map. I usually blend it so it is not that strong. I think that's like the way to go. If everything wasn't like red and everything, let me put like, let me desaturate this. It look much better. But you ever releasing those? The gradient maps? I already have a tutorial on how to make this, man. If you want this you want this node exactly, I'll put it in my server. Screw it. Appreciate y'all coming by and watching the stream. Hope you learned something. We were entertained.